Good day, my fellow viewers. I welcome you to Gabriel Mathematics class. Those following my YouTube channel, we've been working things in mathematics. The last topic we treated was differential calculus, and we solved some issues there. And after that, we worked on simultaneous equation. I also taught you some tricks you can use in working on some multiplication. Now today, I am going to be emphasizing on how you can score 300 points and above in your JAMB. 300 points is an achievable point. Most JAMBites go as 3. That's why they can't make that point. But as you follow me in this video, I am promising you that if you should go with the way I am going to explain things to you, you won't have any cause to regret. 300 points above awaits you in your upcoming JAMB. The first point I would like you to put and lay emphasis on is this. You have to prepare early. Yes, there is an adage that says that whosoever prepare early gets the correct and an achievable result. There are some JAMBites that if their exam is just 1 month or 2 weeks or a week to the commencement of the exam, that's where they start preparing, and it is absolutely wrong. You don't build a mansion in a day. It takes a gradual process. Now, if you discover that your JAMB is coming up in the next 3 months or in the next 2 months, then you can start preparing. Not that when the JAMB is already knocking at the door, that is when you start preparing. No. There are some things you need to consider under your preparation. So the first thing you also consider is this under your preparation. That is, you set a functional timetable. So after you have put in place your preparation, after you started preparation early, now at the course of preparation, you set the functional timetable. Till now, some JAMBites don't know how to set timetable. They see timetable as something very difficult. My brother, my sister, timetable is just like a channel. It is just like a path in which you can walk on. I tell you, it guides you. It directs you to the right thing to do. Now, some people don't actually know how to set timetable. That is why they see timetable as something not achievable. That's why they see timetable as something difficult. If you actually want to set timetable, you set your subject, you put the period you want to be reading those subjects. Not only period, time is the most essential factor. You put your time duration on your timetable. Am I studying for 1 hour? Am I studying for 2 hours? These things must surface in your timetable. And again, the most difficult subjects must always repeat itself on your timetable. It is very essential and very important. So timetable helps. I want you to put something in your mind that as time goes on with your timetable, you might be discouraged, but please don't be discouraged. He who is looking for something greater in life will never be discouraged. When you look into what people are saying, that's when discouragement comes. But you try as much as possible to focus, to have a wider view of what you want to achieve. Now, make sure you follow your timetables clearly. Don't be discouraged. Don't be weak. Don't be weary. The next thing you need to put in place is that you must also you must look for good JAMB syllabus. JAMB syllabus is just like the house in which JAMB questions are embedded from. You can get your JAMB syllabus online. You can go to JAMB centers to get JAMB syllabus. Now, JAMB syllabus entails different subjects. It entails the topic to which the subjects are talking about. There are some also little content you can see there. So by the time you lay your hands on those syllabus, on the syllabus, most especially the subject that will be taught there, I tell you, sky is not even your limit. Sky is your starting point. Yes. So those JAMB syllabus will help you to concentrate on where you are actually going. And the next thing you have to put in place is you get good JAMB textbooks. There are some people that they just work abstractly. Some people just work on any textbook they lay their hands on. But I tell you something, there is no exam you want to write that doesn't have a guided textbook. An example of textbook you can read for your JAMB, you can work on exam focus. You can work on LAMLA textbooks. You can work on essential textbooks. You can work on excellence textbooks. If you are also not getting textbook, go online, Google it, available JAMB textbooks to use. You will see them there. Nothing is so difficult to achieve in life. The most important thing is goal. When you set your goal, then you work towards the goal. Don't bother about distractions. I could remember when I was in secondary school then, planning to write my JAMB. I studied hard. Then I get rid of social media. Yes, because social media is also an important factor to be considered. When you don't use social media very well, then there is no goal you've put that can be achievable. You have to have time to log into social media. You have to have time to study. I put away clubbings, I put away parties. There are some friends that I discarded because I actually want to make the goal. If you like to work with your friends that are nonchalant, I tell you there is no goal you can put that can be achievable. Another point you have to put in place is that you must work with your series. Some students think series is something not important. In every exam you want to write, the heartbeat of exam is number 1, the questions. Number 2, the structure of the questions. Then number 3, which is the main point, the source of the question. And lastly, the marking scheme of each question. Now, when you lay your hands on series, there are strategic ways in which you can use series. Most JAMBites don't know how to use series. Some students will just pick series, take a topic, take a question, solve, and look at it. No. They don't solve series that way. The first thing that must come into your mind when you ever want to solve series is that what are the topics that this series is touching? When you pick a question, you write the topic down. Pick a question, you write the topic down. Now, by the time you consecutively get all those topics, that's when you will not concentrate on the nature, on how the question is set. When you get how questions are set in series, good. Then you now venture into how the questions are being answered. That is the technique in series, and get it now. If you can consecutively study 15 good years in series, I'm telling you that your JAMB is nothing. You have toasted the JAMB. Some students, because of laziness and weakness, that's when they see series as something not important. Some students get series and keep without laying emphasis on it. So by the time you get your series, you try to work hard on it. Now, another thing you must consider when you want to have 300 points in your exam is this. You must work on a good coaching center. We have lots of coaching centers that are all around you. Get a viable coaching center that will help you. Let me tell you something. You can never learn being seen. You cannot learn alone. When you get other people's ideas, then it tries to correct some errors in you. Don't say that, why will I even go for JAMB coaching? At least I am intelligent. We know you are intelligent, but you can't be perfect in all. By the time you get to a JAMB coaching center, you meet friends, good friends, friends that are focused, friends that also have similar dream with yours. Then you can share ideas. Topics that are not understood can be treated in JAMB coaching centers. That's very essential. JAMB coaching is something very important you need to work on. Another thing you have to identify is that by the time you get to the JAMB coaching center, work on your weak areas. The weaker areas that are putting you down, work on them. Don't believe that you know everything. No. I could remember when I was in secondary school then. I can't forget this topic at all. That is cycle geometry. Cycle geometry was a topic that was giving me a headache. That whenever I lay my hands on, God, I'm always worried. But there is this guy in my class, very little and young. He knows that topic. I was initially feeling shy to go to him to learn. But a thought came to me that, Gabriel, if you understand this thing, I believe you can't go back to him again. Now, I want you to take note of something. Whatever you don't know is your master. You are a slave to whatever you don't know. Then as soon as you get that thing, you become the king of that thing. You become the master of that thing. Please, don't believe that you know everything. No, an exam doesn't go that way. You base yourself on the areas of problem. That is when you can just quickly achieve your aim. Another thing is this. You also try to seek help. You seek help. There are some students that are psychologically affected. Some students are mentally affected. Some people have cognitive problems. Some people don't even know how to read. You try to go on therapy. You try to look for people that can help you out for your exam. Let me tell you something. There is nothing difficult in this life. I tell you. By the time I start going deeply into academics, I now discover that if you don't look for solutions, you can't get answers. And the more solution you look for, the more widening your knowledge is going to be. Yes. So please, let me run through the topics, the areas I talk about. Number one, you try to prepare early. It's so essential. Number two, you try to work on functional timetable. You lay your hands on that timetable. Don't be weak using your timetable. Number three, you try to lay your hands also on JAMB syllabus, functional JAMB syllabus. You bring out the most important topics there. You work on them. The next thing you also work on is your series. I told you something in series. Series is trying to tell students the topics that comes out, the questions that comes out, and as well the way questions are being answered. Don't forget, work 15 years at a stretch. I tell you, JAMBs are just repeating questions. Same thing as WAEC, NECO, and NAPTEP. I tell you, if you can work on those things strictly, good. 300 points awaits you. Now, another thing I told you is that you must work on your weak areas. They are very essential. When you dwell on those weak areas, then you become a hero. You become a soldier on your own. Another thing is that I told you to also seek for help. Don't believe that you know everything. No. Knowledge doesn't go that way. Don't believe that everything is in your brain. And please try to accept other people's idea. When someone tells you something, you accept it and you try to validate it. The next thing is that you practice more. One of the things affecting students is lack of practice. People are not consistent when it comes to practice. For example, in mathematics, if you want to be very good in maths, you must always practice. Now, people think it is only dwelling on mathematics. No, to every level of study, you must always practice constantly. Don't be weak. You practice. Now, by the time you keep practicing, you get to the apex level of what you are studying. I tell you, there's an adage that says that practice makes perfect. By the time you keep practicing, you become perfect. And lastly, which is the most important thing, that last thing is God. I tell you, there is nothing you want to do when you put God aside, then you're on your own. By the time you put God in whatever you do, then you be positive. Always be positive that this is where I'm going. Don't put yourself down. Now, thanks so much for watching my video. I have lots of videos to give you. Please stay tuned to my channel. I have important things to feed you with. In my next coming video, I am going to tell you the trick behind CBT. Any CBT you want to write, there is a trick to it and a simple logic to it that can really assist you in getting your good grade. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I remain my humble self, Gabriel. I love you so much. I'm going to display my details to you in case you are having any challenges in sciences. Now, after giving you the talks, questions are also coming up. If we are welcoming your questions, we are welcoming your comment. Thanks so much. I love you so much.